We'll see. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
It's the Thanksgiving week pick show! Everybody loves them some Thanksgiving. You guys ready to eat some turkey and watch some football?
Yeah, why not?
My mom better have the freaking game on when I get there. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm more excited about the food, I'll tell you that.
Best holiday, hands down.
Yeah.
No gifts to buy.
Yeah.
Nothing to do but drink and eat.
And
Pass out.
I'm sick of all the
And football.
NFC games on Thanksgiving, though. I want to see some AFC action.
Well, the Steelers aren't allowed to play on Thanksgiving anymore because the refs screw us every time.
Well, I don't care if the Steelers play or not. I want to see some AFC action, something that has to do with the Steelers.
Well, I mean, we got 6 NFC teams. Deal with it. I don't know. What do you want me to do? It's always freaking Detroit and Dallas. I don't know how Detroit, they're a loser team for the last 20 years. Oh, let's put them on freaking Thanksgiving.
Well,
It's tradition,
tradition,
bro.
yes.
Like the Pilgrims and the Redskins, you know, it's like Detroit and Green Bay every year.
So did the Pilgrims like Detroit? Or did
Detroit and Dallas, my fault.
Yes, Detroit and Dallas.
Seems like Green Bay gets a lot of love, though.
You'd think the Indians would like Dallas and the Pilgrims would like Detroit.
Jim, let's be PC.
Redskins is not PC. They lost their trademark because it's so racist.
Whatever you say. They're still the Redskins.
All right, let's get into these games. What do we got for this week dash on Thanksgiving
I'm
Day?
going to get into the records in the Week 12 segment. I'm not going to go over them all here, but I will say Johnny Parlay, 21-9 in his last 30 picks and 15-5 over the last 4 weeks, so he's killing it right now.
That's right.
So just fast forward until he talks, guys, and then you're good to go.
Well, I had to come in studio because fans are like, is he really picking these? I mean, what's going on here? They needed Parlay in studio because they want it documented.
Nobody knew you were real.
Who knows what could happen this week? I mean, this week makes me nervous all over the place.
Yeah, but the first game on Thursday is Philadelphia at Detroit at 12:30. It is a
nice
pick'em game, 45.5.
This is surprising to be pick'em. Detroit at home, and they're not complete garbage, but Philadelphia just looked like crap going up against Tampa Bay this week. Jameis Winston lit them up for 5 touchdowns. Detroit beat Green Bay in Green Bay for the first time in 150 years. So to me, you just got to think the home team's going to get this game. They're going to be all pumped up Thanksgiving Day. They're going to be ready to eat some turkey after the game and then puke Matt Stafford to Calvin Johnson. I think there's going to be a special connection. Something always special happens on Thanksgiving Day. This is going to be it. 200 yards for Calvin Johnson. 300 or 400 yards for Matt Stafford. Big day for Detroit. And I think they roll Philadelphia pretty handily in this game.
Season of giving. Stafford giving CJ all kinds of looks. He's going to deliver it to him all day. I'm with Jim on this one, so who knows what that could bring about. But, I mean, these are two teams trending in definitely opposite directions. Detroit has been looking good.
Yeah, I'm
Philly
surprised you're
looking
taking
bad.
Detroit here. You love Philadelphia.
They're my team. At the beginning of the year, I said they'd come out of that division on top. But, I mean, you got Bradford going down. Not that he was doing them any favors being up. But I still like them. I mean, look, it's Thanksgiving. What happens on Thanksgiving? You eat bird. I mean, a lion versus a bird. That's easy. It explains itself.
Believe it.
Detroit, historically, is pretty damn good on Thanksgiving. The last 3 years they have covered. Not either as favorites or dogs. They have, against the spread, they're 3-0 the last 3 years. So you got to go with the trend, even though that's usually the worst thing you can do. I just think, like I said earlier, they're trending in opposite directions. So I'm going Detroit.
Mark Sanchez is the quarterback for Philadelphia, so I'd never pick him.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez is terrible, obviously, and when he's in, it makes their run game worse, too, because they can stack the line as well and make Mark Sanchez beat him. And if you look, in their last 5 losses, Philadelphia has scored 20 points or less. So when they're losing, they're not scoring many points. And over the past 2 games with Mark Sanchez in a quarterback, 19 and 17 points, and their defense just isn't that great, especially against the pass. And like you said, Calvin Johnson, Matt Stafford, they're going to come up with big games, and I believe that too. You see what Winston did last week. Vincent Jackson played well. There was receivers I never heard of that played well for Tampa Bay last week. And you look at Detroit, man, I know that they've been a bad team most of the season. They had, 1 win through their first 8 games or something. But they won their last 2 games. They went into Green Bay and beat the Packers for the first time in 45 years, It seems like. and they held the Packers to 16 points, and then they went home, played the Raiders, another team that's put up a ton of points this season, and they held them to 13 points. Now this week, they're going up against Mark Sanchez, like you said. I don't see Philadelphia as the team to turn around what this defense has been doing. This defense has been playing great recently.
Pick'em line, you got to just take the home team for me.
Pick'em line, and it started at Detroit -1, so it looks like some people are starting to maybe think Philly can maybe do something here.
Mark Sanchez is going to be more worried about what he's wearing to Thanksgiving dinner after the game and matching his headband to his T-shirt and his scarf.
Dude, the bro can dress, dude.
He's the worst.
He can dress, man.
He's words that we're not allowed to use on this show.
I tell you what, though, this Detroit offense does have to pick it up. They scored 19 points or less in their last
do it
4
this
games.
week.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be this week.
Big points.
Well, that spread is moving a little towards Philly. Is anyone in the spread crew feeling that? That line
one.
move?
No, it's a spread sweep.
Uh-oh.
Please believe. If JK would have taken Chicago in this last game, it would have been the first time ever everyone took the same exact thing.
That's a scary thing.
Wow.
If the line got to Detroit -5, I would start considering Philadelphia.
Oh, I don't know. I think
8.5, and I would maybe go.
really, I'd say even 3.5. I'm just at least starting to think about Philadelphia.
21-13, 24-13. Make it so my 8.5 works.
Thanksgiving Day shutout. It's gonna be 21-0 Detroit.
24-13. Lions desecrating the birds.
Well, it's 12:30 our time, right? That could hurt Detroit a little bit. That's really what, like 11:30 or something, 10:30 their time.
Why would that?
Hour
They'll
or
be
two
all right.
behind.
Would hurt Philly worse because they're still on our time in their heads. They're the ones traveling, so it'd be 8:30 their time, right? I don't know. 9:30, 10:30.
Where
It'd be
you
too
get-
early.
What?
Who taught you time zones? Move to the next game.
Okay, if
Those
you're in the
pine
East
cones
Coast,
you ate
if you
just
leave the
ruined
East
you.
Coast at 10 a.m. to play,
But
in
they're
the
already
middle-
going to be in the Midwest. They don't leave that day.
Then why do they always make such a big deal out of the time zone? I'm on 10 o'clock
Yeah, but
LA
you
time.
said something about 8:30. You're taking 4 hours there.
Well, that was just a miscomputation by Parlay. But they're going to be on like 9:30 time. They're going to still be breakfast mode. And
We'll see.
it ain't happening.
All right, let's move on then. The 4:30 game.
Turducken.
We got Carolina at Dallas, and for some reason, this is a pick'em game, and the over-under is 46.
Bizarre. Straight up bizarre. I don't know where this line came from. I've been reading articles all about this, and it's just all the Romo love, I suppose. It's just very confusing.
That's it, man.
Very confusing.
You look, when Romo's in, they win. Now, he was out for 7 weeks, and they went 0-7. Okay, and
That's our spread dinner. Got loose.
he comes back, and they go into Miami. Now, Miami hasn't been the greatest team this season, but they went in there, held them to 14 points, put up 24. Pretty easy win for Dallas last week. Everybody's on Dallas, but Carolina's been beating everyone.
Every time I pick against Carolina, they dominate the team I picked. So I'm just going to go Carolina.
I've been waiting for them to slip up.
You know, I have been too. That's why I keep freaking picking against them. And then they just keep dominating everybody. And at a pick'em line, they're just the better team. I know Dallas is at home, and a lot of people were big on them because of Tony Romo coming back and Des Bryant
it's
being healthy.
Thanksgiving in Dallas, you know.
But Carolina, I don't know. They've just proved to be a team that can win games. And they're a team that wins dirty games in the trenches. They don't have to win flashy. Newton doesn't have to throw for 300 yards. He could probably throw for 150 yards and rush for 100 yards and still score 3 touchdowns and win this football game. I just think with Carolina's defense being able to get after the quarterback, Romo, it's only his second game back.
Well, let's not
It's just
forget-
it's not a good recipe for Dallas at the moment.
Who's that DN that got suspended for Carolina? Did you see something about that?
I did not.
His name is Wes Horton. He's suspended for 4 games for PED use.
Well, he's juicing, man.
Although they did get defensive end Charles Johnson back as well, so it's not as big of a loss as you'd think, I guess, because they're getting one good DM back as well. But, I mean, Carolina, they've been dominating all season. Now,
What is that over there? What is that going in? Oh,
It's just running amok through the studio. We're going to have to get somebody to clean up here.
Back to the analysis. Get that turkey under control.
Well, you said you're waiting for a Carolina letdown. If it's not this week, they go into the Saints next week. That could be a letdown possibly, but they got the Falcons twice, at the Giants, and versus the Buccaneers. I mean, this is just as a tough a game as any of them, I'd guess, wouldn't you say?
I'm just going to go with the historical trends again. The only reason I went with Detroit is because they're 3-0 the last 3 Thanksgivings, and Dallas 0-4 their last 4 Thanksgivings. They don't show up on Turkey Day. My cousin is a big fan of the Cowboys. Always shows up with his stupid star hat, and he always eats in the corner.
In the gravy.
Yeah,
Dip the hat in the gravy.
He eats in the corner by himself because he's all upset because his boys are losing. 0-4 against the spread last 4 Thanksgivings. I'm going Cam, even though I don't like this one bit. This is a game you take your hand off the phone and you don't call up Max.
This is the one that's at dinner time, too, and I think this is going to be the best game of the day, which really makes me mad because my stupid mom, I'm telling you, she's not going to have the game on, and I'm going to have to yell at somebody and put the game on, or I'm just going to have to leave.
That's when you put that app on under the table, and then you go, oh!
Hey!
These potatoes are awesome, Mom. These are just the best potatoes I ever had.
I love yams.
And then you go, oh, mother! I cracked my tooth on
The dog stepped on me.
Yeah, that's all.
The turkey's loose again.
So I'm going historical numbers again. Go Carolina. Don't go Carolina. Go against Dallas.
Believe it.
Yeah, Dallas's defense isn't that bad, but Carolina is one of the best defenses in football, and it's Tony Romo's just his second game back from injury. I know they went out and won last week, but the Miami Dolphins aren't that great of a team. Now they're going up against an undefeated team, albeit they're coming back home, so Dallas does have that going for them. But Carolina, they just have one of the best defenses in the league. Josh Norman's probably going to be all over Des Bryant. They have one of the best linebackers in Kuechly. I don't care about losing this D lineman. I think they're a Super Bowl favorite in the NFC at this point.
Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers being banged up, he said his shoulder hurts and it's hard to throw in cold weather. Well, guess what happens in Lambeau in the late year? It gets cold, buddy.
Well, who's the big gravy going? Big Easy. Who's he going with in this one?
It's another spread sweep here.
Carolina all the way.
I mean, how can you not take an undefeated team? I know they're on the road, but in a pick'em game, especially against a team that hasn't done crap this year. I don't care if Romo's there or not.
Yeah.
JK Sweet Potatoes is
they
on.
They are 3-0 with
also,
Romo.
He's on Carolina.
So they're actually
3-0
undefeated with Romo.
Yeah.
2 undefeated quarterbacks going up against each other in, what is this, week 12? When does that happen in the NFL?
Well, what if it ties?
Romo said they're not going to lose another game from here on out. And we seen last season, I mean, Romo did take a step forward. They never made the playoffs.
Running game last year.
You remember, they never made the playoffs with Romo. And last year, he was an elite quarterback, really, and they made the playoffs.
He said that? They're not going to lose again?
Yeah.
Oh, please, don't ever do that. Did anyone? No one ever learned from Matt?
We're going to have the ball, and we're going to score.
We just talked about that a week ago.
And we're going to score. Please, dude. Keep your mouth shut. You're Matt Hasselback.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's go with the late game.
Late.
8:30. Chicago at Green Bay. Green Bay is -9, and the over-under is heading downwards, 46.5.
You know what happens at 8:30, right?
Oh, what is that?
Walking Dead.
Nope, that's the second time you eat turkey, man. Come on, that's round 2, buddy.
I don't know. You never shut up about The Walking Dead. I figured it was on or something.
It's not on Thanksgiving Day, although it was revealed that Glenn is alive.
Oh, that's great, because I should find out who Glenn is.
Your Walking Dead podcast. All right, this is a football podcast.
Well, Glenn likes football.
Well, all right, Glenn, who you taking? Tweet us.
Glenn would probably take Chicago.
Well, I think that's what most people... Well, I don't know about that. This is a tough one. It seems like a high line, especially with the way Green Bay's been squeaking them out, if squeaking them out at all. I mean,
not really. I mean, they lost 3 in a row, and really, they look like crap. And then last week, though, they went into Minnesota, who was one of the best teams so far this season, and went and blew them out. So who knows what Green Bay is.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers was under 50% passing in that game.
I think
he was at 47%, and that's tough. I mean, Green Bay is going to live or die with him. Eddie Lacy ran well in last week's game. There's no guarantee that they're going to have a good running game this week. It's been so off and on this year, so that's a scary thing.
Yeah, but you look at the Bears, and they don't have the greatest defense in the world. And really, another key to me was Green Bay's defense. Actually, in their 3 losses, they had 0 sacks. In this past game, I think they had 6, maybe even 7 sacks in that game. So that's a huge difference right there. Which defense is going to come out and play? Because we were saying before that the Green Bay defense fell apart and they were doing nothing. I know a couple corners were out or whatever. But last week they came into Minnesota and pretty much dominated Teddy Bridgewater. They actually hurt him for a while in that game. So Green Bay, I don't know which team's going to come out here, but do I think they're going to win by 9? I don't know. That's a pretty big line. Chicago Bears, they started out this season like crap. Started 0-3 and got blown out in all 3 games. But since then, they haven't lost a game by more than 3 points. They're actually 4-3 over their last 7 games and haven't lost by more than 3 points. And played some pretty good teams, including the Vikings and the Broncos last week. Although, that's Brock Osweiler's Denver Broncos.
He's the boss. Brock the boss. I love that guy. He's going to be the new face of the league here coming up soon. There is no historical mainstay to go with in this game because the late game is a new thing because the NFL wants to make more money. So, of course, they put another game on Thanksgiving night. So, there's really no records because there's no mainstay team. So, Parlay just flipped the coin on this one. Give me something. Give me something here.
Green Bay's 1-1 against the spread as a home favorite of 7.5 to 10 points, and the Bears are 1-0 as road dogs.
Huge
of
sample
7.5
size.
to 10.
Huge sample size there. Thanks for that info, Jim.
You want the last 3 years for the Packers? 6-2 is a home favorite, 7.5 to 10. That's not bad.
Not bad.
The Bears are only 2-1. I mean, how many times are you a road dog of that many points? You've got to be pretty bad to be a dog that many points.
Well, in week 1 at Chicago, Green Bay won 31-23. Now coming home,
that was terrible Chicago, though. This is better Chicago.
And how good is Green Bay now? That might have been a better Green Bay as well.
Believe it.
Chicago, one of the most difficult teams to try and pick because they're so up and down.
Yeah,
so
Jay Cutler's a quarterback, and you always want to punch him in the face.
You want to know the scores from the Chicago-Green Bay matchups last season?
Give them to us.
At Chicago, Green Bay won 38-17. Versus Chicago, Green Bay won 55-14.
Close one.
Close one.
Was it on Thanksgiving?
You're dead wrong.
See? I don't know if Aaron Rodgers can play well on Thanksgiving. It was reported that he was having some troubles in his personal life, and then his girlfriend, Olivia Munn, started freaking out, calling people out, saying that was misinformation. So there could be a rocky relationship at home. Maybe she's mad because he has to play football on Thanksgiving and he's not going to be with her and her family. Huh? That could be on Rodgers' mind. I'm going with Chicago.
I didn't know any of this.
Come on, man.
Say
You got to
that
keep it up.
For your gossip podcast.
This is all from ESPN, man. This was reported on ESPN.
That's terrible ESPN. Shame on you.
Well,
look,
look,
the gossip column.
Don't forget about Chicago, too. Elshon Jeffrey hasn't been playing, and Eddie Royal hasn't been playing.
Forte could be back.
Forte could be back.
It
would be nice because they're missing all their offensive weapons right now. It's possible Eddie Royal and Jeffrey come back for this game as well. But if not, it's Marquez Wilson as the number 1 wide receiver out there. And I'll also say this, Martellus Bennett is actually injured and not expected to play in this game. So Chicago, really, if Jeffrey and Royal don't play, if Forte doesn't play, every single guy on that offense is injured. So there's another reason why this line's up at -9 right now.
If Forte could play, I'd run him in the slot a few times as a receiver and use Langford in the backfield because Langford's been playing well.
Do that.
Just because they've had so many injuries. Not that, you can't put him on the outside or anything, but he could give you some little catches across the middle, maybe a catch and run. But that's all, if he plays.
Offensive coordinator James Sella there for you.
Please believe. Adam Gase better be listening to me out there in Chicago. You listening, Adam?
Well,
John Fox?
Parlay's been on a roll. And I'm not saying this week's going to continue that, but I just think 9 is too high in a game. Anytime the line is over 8, you got to look and say, can this team beat the team who they're playing? And I think Chicago could beat Green Bay. It's not out of the question. So anytime that's the case and you got 9 points to use, yeah, I'll start off going up by a 2 scores potentially. Yeah, give me Chicago. We're going Lions, Panthers, and Bears, oh my, on this Turkey Day special. At least most of us. Who is the big easy going with in this game?
He's going with Chicago as well. JK47 is going spread solo with Green Bay in this.
Oh.
I'm going to say Chicago too, just because, I know, like I said, their entire offense is injured right now. But even without all these guys, they've been playing close games and actually winning some games as well. And Green Bay hasn't showed me enough over the past, I know they had a good week last week, but over the past month, they haven't been that great of a team. So I'm not going to trust them to go out and win by double digits.
That's right. So, call up Butch early, get in all your picks before you go out with the fam, and you say, Butch, this is what I need. I'm about to
That's
head
it.
out. I'm loading up the caravan. We're getting the station wagon ready. I need to give these to you now, Butchie.
Hopefully he doesn't charge you extra juice because it's a holiday.
Time and a half. That's right. Don't forget that. Your bookies are entitled to charge you time and a half on a holiday. If not double time. I've heard double time often. But hey, I don't know. I'm a hardworking, blue-collar kind of guy, so I work in the real world. So I don't know anything about any of that. I get paid straight time.
Cash money. Dash,
$6.55.
any clue what we were on Thanksgiving last year?
Oh, my.
No.
Check the record.
Yeah, we could go back and listen to the segment. We should have done that before this
We'll
segment.
throw that
though.
down in the comments at the YouTube
Yeah, I'll look
channel.
it up and let everybody know how we did. I'm sure I
Subscribers
lost.
are just going up and up and up right
Eddie
now.
B jinxed us. Way to go, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie B, you picked against Parlay in every one of my games last week. Shame on you. What'd that do for you? You
Yeah.
lost. Dead wrong. Under 500, Eddie B. Are you going to pick against Parlay again this week? I'm
What,
on
he went
fire.
2-3?
He
Man,
went 2 and
terrible.
3 because I went 3 and 2. He went against everything Parlay took, and look what happened.
You love Eddie in fantasy, but you're hating on him in the pick show.
Well, that's because he was wrong. Look, you'd have went with Parlay last week, bet 1,000 on each game. You'd be up $800 right now.
Please believe.
But you're not. You
I
were
think
wrong.
I'm just going to start picking your games every
Do it.
week, putting a hundo on
It's
each
a
game.
bad omen, y'all. Bad omen.
How about these over-unders? Philadelphia at Detroit, 45.5.
Over.
Under.
I'm going to say over in that game.
Over. Terrible D. Explosive quarterback. Even though they haven't been doing that this year.
21-0 was my prediction, so if I say over, Dash will freak out on me.
Well, look-
You contradicted yourself in your picks.
No, so did I.
Well, Detroit's been playing great defense over the past 2 weeks, like I said, but Philadelphia, their defense isn't that great. I think Stafford and Kelvin get it going in this game, and Philadelphia does just enough to put it over. Carolina at Dallas, 46.
Under seems like the right pick, so I'm gonna go over. It just
Yeah, I'm going to say over, too. I'm going to say over
Over.
in all these games. Chicago, Green Bay, 46.5.
I'll go under in that one just because it's gonna be cold out.
Under in that one, yeah. Under, over, under.
I'm going to say over in all of them.
A night game in November, late November. It's cold. Aaron's got
Brr, his
tiny
arm's sore.
little shaky hands.
Olivia Munn's dragging him around by his thing.
She gonna pack them off with some of the hand warmers or the hunters use.
That don't work in Cleveland when it's minus 30 degrees.
So how many playoff teams are playing? Just 2?
Carolina's a lock. They pretty much clinched, I would think.
Yeah.
And I think Green Bay will get in there.
No go for Philly. They're only a game back in the division.
Boy, they were my call at the beginning of the season. So I say if they win this game, sure. But I did pick them not to, so no. They won't be there.
Just going to be Green Bay and Carolina.
No
That's right.
Dallas.
No Dallas.
No way.
I did pick them to win the division, but they've just fallen
Look,
too
they're
far
2
behind.
games out of the division right now, man. And the New York Giants are not that great of a team. The Washington Redskins are garbage, and we're talking Philadelphia here. They're not that great.
Well, we got the brine ready to go. So we just got to catch this thing once and for all, and we can start preparing. Yep. That's the last time you're going to hear that, because that thing's done. Dinner time.
I
No
think
more
Dallas
for
can
you,
lose.
Turkey.
I think Dallas can lose one more game and still make the playoffs, but
Mm.
I think they got to go out and win this game and get some momentum going.
They
Not
need to
according
win
to
out.
Tony. According to Tony, no more in the L column.
Well, fans, you let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Keep checking out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Come back to YouTube, click subscribe, throw us some comments, have a good turkey day, eat food, watch football, pick games. I'm 3-team parlay. I'm throwing it down this week, winning money.
Don't pick against me, Eddie.
You heard?